Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer. Welcome back to European Truck Simulator 2, and welcome back to, I believe it is Odense in Denmark. We're going to pick up some potted plants and take them up north in Denmark, just about to the crossing over to Norway. And we are still in our, well, let me clip through the pole there. We, we are still in our Pendragon Volvo, and we've still got our KAST carry trailer on. Same as last trip. So here we go. Let's hop in here. Get this going. Now it's 5:30 in the morning. We are running the Naturalux weather and lighting mod. Turn that off. Turn that off. Get this going here, and we're going out to the right. So hopefully we'll see a sunrise. Now the sun may rise as we're being loaded up, but I think because we're running the December add-on, I think we may get a little bit more time. The sun won't come up till around 8 or 9 a.m. If it's 5:30 now, by the time we get there, it'll be 6. When we get loaded, it will be 7. So hopefully we get to see a big, beautiful Scandinavian sunrise. That would be fantastic. How's everybody doing? It is Monday for me. It's Tuesday for you. Hope your week is going well. Mine is, it's a little, it's a little spotty so far. It's only been about 6 hours, but it's been... yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see what the rest of the week holds. It's always interesting. It's always exciting. All right, make a little room for Ivico over there. So what is going on, sir? All right, gridlock. He's waiting for him. He's waiting for me. There we go. What is going on? It's going to be an interesting couple weeks of gaming, too. We've got some things dropping, and there's a lot of things that I'm trying to get running and keep running. As far as getting back into Farming Simulator 17, we've got that big new mod, the Naturalux mod, running here in Euro Truck, and we're on a bit of the struggle bus in Farm Simulator 19. We seem to have a corrupted file and some other things going on, and then we've got a DLC dropping in about 10 days for Train Sim World. So it's going to be interesting. And on top of that, I'm learning Tarkov, I'm learning Digital Combat Simulator, the P-51 Mustang, and I'm trying to drive and race in iRacing. Although I didn't really do a lot of iRacing last week, there aren't too many GT3 series, with iRacing losing the Blancpain license to Kunos for a set of course a Competizione. It's mostly going the way of GTE. How we doing on fuel? I think we're okay. Mostly going GTE in iRacing. There's not a ton of good GT3 racing. There's some, but not a ton. That's what I race. Until I can get my load cell brake pedal, I'm a little intimidated by GTE braking with no ABS. So I'm in GT3, and the only GT3 series this week was IMSA, and it was at Mount Panorama, which is, honestly, I just won't drive that track. It's got my number. It does. It's an interesting track. Imagine Monaco, right? But going over a mountain. It's very Australian. They're wonderful people. Everybody loves Australians. Everybody loves Australians. They're like Canadians, but with better weather. At the same time, I have to be aware of the fact that Australians are a little bit crazy. And so the idea of a track like Bathurst, like Mount Panorama, it's very fitting for the Australian character, because it's just ridiculous. It's, I don't know if you know Mount Panorama, but it's a nightmare. It is an absolute nightmare. It has all the tight guardrails and zero runouts of a track like Monaco or Baku. But then it's also got these ridiculous straights down at the bottom, sort of down in the valley. It's got these ridiculous, like, super fast straights that Monaco does not have. So it's a lovely combination of challenges. That's a good way to say it. I just hate driving on it. I really do. It's not the track for me. Right. So we'll very carefully get pulled in here. Carefully. I'm going to have to go third person and take a look. I think we're going to do okay. think, turn that off. I think we're going to do okay. Maybe. Maybe that steering axle for once is helping me out. I can see us sort of tracking around that light pole. We going to make it? Oh, game. Be good to me. And we make it. Fantastic. So we'll hop back in here. Get down to neutral. We'll set the brake and we'll take a look for our job. I believe it was potted plants. Potted flowers going to Hirtshals, which is up here. I always think of this as the ferry port, but it's going to take us across. From here, we're going up into Norway. So we will take that job. And we're going to pick it up now. Where? Looks like maybe right behind that. Right behind that trailer? Maybe? All right, here we go. All right, we didn't snag on the way in. Things are going good so far. Right here. And is it... I gotta go third person. Is it over there? Yeah, it is. Okay. So let us... how do we want to do this? There's not really enough room over there, so let's... Oh, turning circle. Let's go this way. We got room there. And we'll flip it around the other way and back it in. I assume this is the only way it can be done. I don't think there was enough room. As we came in the gate, I don't think there was enough room to the left to get it stuffed over in that corner and then back it in directly. I think we had to go to the right, flip it around, and then back it in. And even this is looking like... this is no gimme backing up. All right, here we go. All right. Let's see if we can jackknife this thing in there just right. Maybe. Maybe. I'm at peace with 2 swings now. I've resigned myself to never being able to do this in one swing. So if I don't get it in one swing, I wouldn't say that I don't care, but, you know, I'm sort of, it's like predestination. It's like, it's just a given that it's going to take us 2 swings. And when I say us, of course, I mean me. Oh, and then I get it in one swing. But you know what? I don't feel good about that. My OCD does not feel good about that. We need to straighten this out. Get this backed in here. Proper. Alright, there we go. That's better. And it is 6:07, so we should be leaving here about quarter after 7, approximately 1 hour from now, and we'll see what we've got as far as sunrise. Right, lights off, engine off. Let's get loaded up. There we are. Lights back on. We're going truck axle down, trailer axle up. Back in here. Brake is off. Put her in gear. And we are rolling. Right. So here's what I want to talk about this week. I did a farm sim video, and I mentioned a website called Simply Safe Mods. So I had heard, it's nobody's fault but mine, but I had heard that the site was run by Bullet Bill. Turns out it's actually run by Jerry from Grizzly Bear Sims. I apologize. We have clarified, but yes, that site is not run by Bullet Bill. It's run by Jerry. And I actually got a note from him, from Grizzly Bear Sims, confirming that he does run the site, and also sort of confirming what the purpose of the site is. I hope this gate opens. It does. Fantastic. Sort of talking about what the purpose of the site was. There were several farm sim mod sites that were, they weren't shady at all. Not in the least. This is, yeah, we got some traffic over there, so we need to sort of time this, because we need to go out this way, but not too far, and then over this way, and hope that We get no traffic. So far, so good. So far, so good. Other turn signal. Don't hook the trailer. Alright, I think we got it. So there's a lot of, I mean, and you see it for a truck sim as well. There are a lot of really shady mod sites. And you can tell that they're not, well, you can tell that the administrators are just scraping every other mod site, legitimate and otherwise. And so you end up with this big sort of circle jerk of mods that as soon as anybody releases a mod anywhere, it immediately makes its way to all those dodgy mod sites via the administrators. But then you also have people putting mods up there sort of manually as visitors, as users, and they could be anything. They could be broken mods, they could be stolen mods, they could be modded mods, they could be, you know, a legitimate mod that somebody put a lot of time and effort into, and then some jamoke, some random citizen takes that mod, makes a change to it, puts it up there as their own. You know, I mean, that's, I wouldn't say that's best case scenario, but that's actually, as grim as that is to do that, it's still better than people that take mods that are just full on broken. They don't even function as a mod. They'll wreck your game. Put them up there, and the administrators do nothing to keep those mods off the site. They don't care. They want the clicks, they want the traffic, and so it's really not cool. There were some farm sim sites, farm sim mod sites, that actually tested mods and didn't go in for that sort of thing. Now, the problem with that is, where's this guy going? He's going straight. You, sir, you gotta go. I can't go till you go, sir. There you go. The problem with that is when you're not doing that clickbait thing, when you're not getting all that traffic, when you're not getting all that revenue, you're not necessarily making any money, right? I mean, that's why shady mod sites exist. It's to make money. And when you have good, reputable sites that are being very selective about the mods that they post, they don't post many mods for download, and you can look and see that they have, you know, 2,000 or 5,000 downloads. You go to a shady mod site and you see a stolen mod, obviously a stolen mod that's got, you know, 30,000 downloads. You know how that process works. Well, bandwidth is expensive and hosting is expensive, particularly for sort of a medium traffic site like that, right? Where it doesn't have the traffic of a shady mod site, but it's got more traffic than, I don't know, a lot of sites, and you got to pay every time somebody comes to your site, and the server sends all that information from your site to that visitor. That's bandwidth, and that costs you money. And that's why some of those sites went away. They said that's why they went away. They just couldn't afford it anymore, and that sucks. You know, it sucks that shady mod sites that are posting stolen mods and dodgy mods and broken mods and mods that will wreck your save game, not only are they still around, but they're making money. And then you've got legit mod sites, people that love Sims and respect modders, and they can't survive. That sucks. So that was really cool to get that note from Grizzly Bear Sims. And I appreciate the tone. I mean, everybody that sort of corrected me on my error was super, super cool about it. And I like that. I really do. You know, I'm easily I'm easily put off by nasty behavior on the internet. You know, people doing things because they're anonymous and they can get away with it. That's not cool. That's not cool. So I appreciate it when people who don't have to be kind, who don't have to be respectful, when they are. I really appreciate that. But we've clarified it now, and you know, everything is cool moving forward. But it got me thinking about something. It got me thinking about us as gamers, particularly sim gamers who use mods, right? And we use a lot of mods. I get most of my mods from Giants, from their official mod hub, from the Steam Workshop, from SCS Soft forum threads where you can see the original mod maker posting a link where they would prefer you download the mod from, etc. I try to do that, but there's There's a gray area. There's definitely, carefully, there's a gray area. And that gray area is when there is a super fantastic mod that I want that I can't get through legitimate means. Now, I can say, I have never, ever, not once in my entire life have I begged for a private mod. I've asked, is that mod private? I think that's fair. That's reasonable. You can ask. And the response is, yes, that's a private mod. Okay, it's totally cool. I've seen people go off on somebody. Is that mod private? Yes. And they just explode with rage. How dare you keep a mod private? Right? Like it belongs to everybody? It doesn't, man. Somebody made that, and if they want to give it to a select group of people, that's their choice. It's a private mod. Oh. Almost missed a turn. That's up to them as the modder. So that's rough for us as gamers, because we are hunters and gatherers, right? We are hoarders in a way. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's a very courteous bus driver. So I will admit that there have been times when I couldn't find a mod that I wanted through legitimate means, and you prowl around a little bit and you find it elsewhere, right? Now, I don't have a Facebook account. I don't use Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, none of that. I avoid it all like the plague. That's not my particular brand of vodka. So I don't necessarily have access to the links for all the mods that I want. And I guess what I've been thinking about since I got those notes and since I sort of looked into Simply Safe mods, I guess what I've been thinking about is, what do we as gamers owe modders? And what do we as gamers owe ourselves as a community? You know, there's nobody preventing you from downloading a mod from a shady mod site. Really, there's nothing preventing you from uploading a stolen mod to a mod site. So where do we draw the lines? I mean, obviously we all draw them for ourselves, right? There's no governing body. There's no, you know what I mean? There's no Olympic committee for sim game modding. We can do whatever we want. But as far as the limitations that we put on ourselves, what do we owe modders and what do we owe ourselves as a community? I mean, paywalls, there's something about paywalls. I wanted to download some setups for iRacing, and the problem that I'm having is I'm looking for setups for the Ford GT3, and nobody's making setups for that car anymore because it's obsolete and nobody drives it. Except me, apparently. I love that car. But there's no setups for it. So I found some sites that claimed that they had setups. Now, the way iRacing works, they're constantly adjusting the balance of power for the cars, and they're a setup from 3 months ago for a certain track, certain time of day, certain track temperature, etc. From 3 months ago, it may not be a good setup today. And depending on how they change various things in the game, it may not even load, right? It may be, it would fail testing, because there's a kind of a tech test, as you have in real racing. Is your car legal, I guess? Is that the good word? You know what I mean. Is it acceptable for this sanctioned event? So you can put certain setups in, and when you test it, what you'll get is, no, it fails. You need to make an adjustment to be in compliance with the rules. So you can try a setup from a few months ago and it might not even work. You constantly have to be adding new setups. So I wasn't even sure that these would work, but I figured I'd give them a try. And when I got to this site, it was behind an email wall, right? The setups were behind an email wall. Well, I can be okay with that. I can be okay with that. But then there was a note from the site owner saying, well, they were whining. Essentially, they were whining. They were saying it's very expensive to run this site. I put a lot of time and effort into it, etc., etc. And I don't appreciate people coming in here and downloading my setups without. And so I need to get your email address, A, so I know that you're a real visitor, and B, so I can sell it, try to make some money, and also turn off your ad blocker. So we're obviously we're not We're not off to a good start. All those things are legitimate, but in 2020, and this was a few months ago, so 2019 when this happened. In 2019, that's assumed. All those things are assumed. Everybody knows how the internet works, and I'm not really too keen on being lectured about it. That was an email wall. I went ahead and put my email address in, and of course the setups were all old and more or less useless. There's absolutely no value derived from that. So I dropped the site owner an email and said, hey man, from a marketing perspective, you might not want to strong arm people about your tale of woe until they understand the value they're going to derive from your product. You can't ball bust people about all the things you're doing for them before you've done anything for them, and in particular, after you've done something for them, if that something is sort of substandard, you know what I mean? There's going to be some pushback on that. You can't tell people how awesome you are and how terribly you're being treated, and then when you get something from that person, give them really very little in return. That's not cool. So I guess what I'm getting at is I have no problem with an email wall. I have no problem with a paywall. As long as there's an understanding that I'm going to derive value from what you're putting on the table in the same way you're going to derive value from what I put on the table. In this case, my $5 a month or $10 a month or whatever. And when I look at a site like Simply Safe Mods, I think I would pay to be a member. I mean, I pay $5 a month for pure driving school, pure racing school, pure driving school, I don't know, whatever. This is a bunch of German guys. They make setups for iRacing. I pay them $5 a month, $8 a month, €8. It's worth it. It is. I would pay a site like Simply Safe Mods. I would pay them $2 a month, $3 a month would be, let's call it 50 a year. I would pay 50 a year, I think. I mean, for a map like the Western Shore, I would pay $19.99 for that. I've paid $19.99 for Train Sim World DLC that left me extremely disappointed. I'm not disappointed in any way by the Western Shore. So going back to the original question, what do we owe modders and what do we owe the community? I would be okay with a paywall. I really would. And I'd certainly be okay with an email wall. As long as whoever is running that site understands they've got to demonstrate value, demonstrate that I'm getting something for what I'm giving, and also continue to run the site professionally. Now, a site like Simply Safe Mods, it's extremely professional. That's why there's so few mods on it. And I know that sounds sort of counterintuitive, like, well, wait a minute, if it's so great, how come there's so few mods? Because they're testing them, and because they're confirming that those are, you know what I mean? The real authors, real mods, they really work, they're really not going to crash your game, etc. That's value for me. I would pay for that. I would pay for that. And they're not, when I talk about a paywall on these sites, I'm strictly hypothetical. I'm not suggesting that any of these people are moving in that direction. I don't even know the people that own these sites. I'm strictly like trying to solve this little intellectual problem. I'm trying to solve it in my own head. So if I would pay money for something, then I think I would certainly be comfortable. What do I see up on the horizon? Oh, it's not on the horizon. It's snow. Oh, fantastic. Let's turn the wipers on. If I would pay for something, then I think I should certainly be willing to make a contribution that is not financial, but that is still, for the good and the welfare, And I guess the thing that I can do is continue to try to only download mods from legitimate sites, to try to continue to be mindful of modders. And I mean, God, these games, try to imagine these games without mods. Something like this Naturalux mod that we're running right now. It's amazing. It's an absolutely unbelievable mod. It is completely free. Are you kidding me? It's like pro mods. I mean, I'm not using Pro Mods at the moment, but anytime I download Pro Mods, I always spend the €1 for the fast download. For one thing, it's fast download. That's very cool. But on top of that, I'm actually paying for Pro Mods. So if I give them, €2 or €3 or €5 a year, come on, man. Is Pro Mods worth it at €5 a year? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely it is. So I just want to continue to be a good member of the community. I want to continue to participate in these amazing sim games and all the things that the modders do to make these games so good for us. I want to continue to participate in that process. I want to continue to do my part. All right. Expect delivery very soon. As long as we don't have a roadblock as we get closer to town here, I think we're not too far out. As long as we can exit at our exit, I think we should be okay. Now, as far as I know, Hirtshals is the end of the road, and I don't know how SCS has the logic set up for roadblocks, but I can't see that there could be a roadblock at the end of the road, because then, you know what I mean? We'd have nowhere to go. So I hope. Yeah. Looks like we're off the highway here. Okay, cool. We made it. Time, 26 minutes. Perfect. Get our trailer lift axle up. So yeah, that's what I've been thinking about the past couple days. And I really do feel like I owe, a debt of gratitude to modders. God, what they do, man. It's just unbelievable. And when you come across a map like Western Shore, or a mod like Naturalux, or, some of these other things, and all you need to do is download it, it's free, man, that's, I don't even understand how somebody could put that much time and effort into a project and just give it away. It amazes me. It really does. Okay, I think we're here. Let me see where our turn is. Is it here? Is it this one? Is it the next one? I think it's the next one. Yeah, get ready to turn. Okay, that's the diesel shop. So we're turning right in here. All right, is there anybody behind us? There is not. It looks like it's kind of directly in from the gate. Oh, yeah, cannot see out that side window. There it is. So if we go over here. Yeah, if we go over here, I think we should be able to swing that in there. Oh my goodness, if we can't get this in one swing, you know what I'm saying? I hang up my truck driver hat. Oh my goodness. Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it. Don't. Ill will. Don't say one swing. Holy smokes. I think we did it. Sure did. That never happens. Fantastic. Let's set the brake. Wipers off. Wipers off. Lights off. Engine off. Let's see how we did. There we go. We are on time. Fantastic. We made some money. Fantastic. We got some XP. Fantastic. There you have it, folks. Thanks for stopping back to check out The Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of European Truck Simulator 2. I'll see you next time. Take care now.